To tell you about going green, we have to go back, way back to 1981 when I was born. I was born to a pair of hippies with an affinity for brown rice, vegetables, camping, and a love for nature. We moved to Hawaii when I was 2, and we lived there till I was 17. Me and my brother, we were homeschooled. And if you're thinking to yourself, I wonder if she has any social skills? Nope, I don't, but that's the topic of another video. This is my dad. Isn't he awesome? My parents love to take us on long hikes and tell us, let's keep going, just to the next bend. Hey guys, welcome to my Going Green video. I'm gonna warn you right now, it's gonna be kind of long just because there is a lot I want to say, and then there's also some resources at the end that I want to show you. So that will kind of take up some time too at the end. So just kind of skip around. Of course I have to make it kind of artsy because that's the fun part for me. So the first thing I want to say is I wanted to show you some pictures from my childhood to kind of give you a frame of reference for who I am and kind of how I grew up. So I've kind of resisted the term going green or being really picky or specific about what I eat, what I wear, what kind of products I use. I was very resistant for any kind of terminology or labeling, I guess, for a long time, just because, let's be honest, these are kind of first world problems. To say that you're not going to eat something because it's just not your preference, or that you're not going to use something because it's just not your preference, these are luxuries. And so I think for a long time I just didn't want to be that high maintenance. That's the truth. Alright, let's get into this video. If you stick with me till the end, way to go. So it would be 100% accurate to say that I'm pretty much a tomboy who loves to play outside with a healthy sense of skepticism. The first stop on this green journey starts with my mom and coconut oil. Alright, so in the early 2000s, my mom had her cholesterol drawn. It came back high. So naturally, the doctor wanted to put her on cholesterol medicines. Well, my mom's a pretty healthy skeptic. She said no. She went home, changed nothing about her lifestyle, except that she started using coconut oil as her body lotion. 6 months later, her cholesterol was normal. Are these two things related? I'm not sure. It could be. There's a lot of research out there about coconut oil and cholesterol, and the fact that people that live in places that use a lot of coconut oil have healthy cholesterol and healthy heart levels. Now, warning, 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 I'm not giving any medical advice. Please do not stop taking your cholesterol medication because you heard what I just said on this YouTube. I will link an article below if you're interested in this topic. You can do your own research. But essentially why I bring it up is because it taught me that it sparked a light bulb, if you will, that it matters what you put on your skin. Next stop, nursing school. I went to nursing school. And in nursing school, I learned about all the different types of ways that you can take medicine. You can take it by your mouth, you can take it in an IV, you can get it injected into a muscle, or you can place it under your tongue, or you can place it on your skin. Now, let me paint you a scenario. You start having chest pain. You start feeling nauseous. You start sweating. The pain starts to radiate down your left arm. What could you do? You could take nitroglycerin. You could place it under your tongue, and in 5 minutes, it could relieve your chest pain by relaxing the blood vessels in your heart. Or you could have it put topically on your chest. And it could also, by just being placed topically underneath like a little piece of wax paper, it could also relieve your chest pain. So what did that teach me? It matters what you put on your skin. The next stop involves my dad and sunscreen. My dad was diagnosed with melanoma. Melanoma is a very aggressive type of skin cancer. So naturally, I became very aware of putting on sunscreen. Well, I started looking at ingredients to see how strong sunscreens were, what was in them, and I started to notice that some of the ingredients in chemical sunscreen, that's the type of sunscreen that's absorbed into your skin, has some of the most documented toxic chemicals included in it. So that's where I started. I dumped all those chemical sunscreens and I switched solely to physical sunscreen. That's been a non-negotiable for me for about 10 years now. What pushed me over the edge were these tiny feet. No, I was like everybody else. I'd buy Mrs. Meyer's and I would try to, think about, I did try natural deodorant for a while. But I just really didn't commit because like I said, it's just too much for me. It was just too high maintenance. But what was the real kicker? Well, I was pregnant with my son and I was using a foundation for my hyperpigmentation and I realized that it had retinol A in it. Now retinol A in certain doses in pregnancy can cause birth defects. And I had a freak out. It was an anti-aging foundation. Granted, I only wore it about 1 to 2 times a week when I would have to go out and about in a professional environment, or and also I didn't use that much. So, was the freak out justified? Possibly. I took it to my doctor. It was one of the ingredients at the bottom of the list of 100. So she told me I could keep using it, but would I keep using it? No way. So that really was the kicker. It really just freaked me out that chemicals that I wasn't aware of that were in products could be harming my kids. And I think for a lot of us that have journeyed down this road of trying to rid our home of toxic chemicals, it's because we're around kids and we're responsible for kids. So that essentially started me down the path of really educating myself. That's why I recommend getting a book. These are 2 that I like. This was recommended to me by a beauty blogger, Blushing BME. She's a biomedical engineer. She recommended this book. I like it. And basically it's just a dictionary. So it's a place to start. But it has verified sources, which is why I want to point out why it's good to start with books. This is something that I got off a recommendation I got from Garden of Wisdom, one of my favorite places to buy raw ingredients. And so now I'm going to say you don't want to read, you don't want to purchase a book. I'm going to take you through a little tutorial of how you can go about reading verified sources on the internet. All right, let's look up phenoxyethanol, which is a preservative used in a lot of products, including natural products. So you can go to the EWG, but it's not my favorite site because yes, they give it a score. Yes, they tell you some things about the product, but it can be very vague. It can, they can rate phenoxyethanol differently if you look it up specifically as a raw ingredient or if you look it up inside something. So what I prefer to do is come down here and check it out, is go to the cosmetics ingredient review. And the good thing about that, look, it comes right up on my screen. The good thing about that is what you're essentially doing is coming over here to read the scientific article that they got their information from. So you can see all the different products that they have listed here. Phenoxyethanol, and essentially it takes you to these published studies that have verified sources, and it's called the Journal of the American College of Toxicology, and basically it's an article that summarizes all the scientific studies that have been done on phenoxyethanol. So you're like, oh my god, I hate chemistry, I don't want to read anything like this. You know what, honestly, if you just go back up and read this area right here, you're essentially learning, they've summarized what the article is about, and you're going to learn so much more than you would just looking on the EWG site. Okay, so the hardest things for me to give up are deodorant and toothpaste. I know. Yep. And you know what? It's the same as sunscreen. Some of the worst toxic chemicals are in toothpaste and sunscreen. And deodorant. So I've had many, and even just today, I will tell you, I backslide sometimes because sometimes I just want the refreshing cleanse of conventional toothpaste, or I just want some antiperspirant. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, comment below. If you are, you have information to share with me, comment below. And just in general, comment below. So thanks for tuning in. Aloha.